I saw Sea of Stars had came out, and it received overwhelmingly positive reviews, and y'all know how I love RPGs, so I decided to play it, and as expected, those reviews were right. The story was great, the bonds made / shared among your companions were so genuine and heartwarming that it made you fall in love with the characters introduced. And finally, the message the game sends is a real and true concept you learn in life, and I appreciated it very much. Now, you're probably wondering, what made all of those components mesh well together and create such a beautiful game? Well, let me tell you. Let me start with telling you guys the story about this game. You're first introduced to our narrator of the story, the Archivist, where he begins to tell the story of two young, magically gifted children, a boy named Zale and a girl by the name of Valerie. They are on their destined path of become solstice warriors and are tasked with defeating an ancient evil known as the Fleshmancer. And along their journey, they meet both old and new friends that help them out and work towards a common goal of defeating the Fleshmancer and saving their world. I'd like to say the parts that made the story so great, in my opinion, were all of the emotions the story was able to capture. True friendship, betrayal, compassion, and sadness. And that's what I love about RPGs. They're always filled with valuable life lessons you learn along the way with the characters. And I think that's beautiful. What was this game's message? I would say it was don't give up and keep pushing towards your goals, even through the pain. And don't forget to smile along the way. The gameplay surprised me a lot because it wasn't the usual turn-based system. Primarily because when either attacking or defending, you can press the action button to either amplify the damage done or to reduce damage received. Which was neat and also saved my ass a lot. But you have to get the timing right, because you have to press the action button near the end of a character or enemy's attack animation. And for me, timing is a hit or miss. Sometimes I got it, and sometimes I don't. Since we're on the topic of saving my ass, another crucial part in my survival was being able to stop enemies dead in their tracks. How exactly do you do that, you ask? Well, you just need to perform certain types of attacks on a specific enemy before their turn comes up. And if you're unable to because their turn is coming up next and they have a 4-attack lock command, don't panic, because you can always reduce the damage of the attack by destroying at least one of the locks. One of the most interesting things about the combat in this game is that when one of your character's HP depletes down to 0, they're not considered dead, but instead, they are knocked out for a couple of turns before they're able to get back on their feet again and resume fighting the good fight. This caught me by surprise because I think this was the first game ever that I played that had a mechanic like that. Because usually when a character's HP is 0, they're dead, and you can't use them anymore until they're revived. And let me tell you, this saved me a bunch of times during pivotal boss fights. These were huge saving graces for me, because if it wasn't for being able to reduce damage taken, hindering enemy attacks, and getting right back up, then I would have seen the game over screen a lot. Two more combat mechanics I'd like to talk about are boosting and swapping. Boosting was another interesting thing this game had. You'd be able to boost your attack or spell powers by attacking enemies and using the live souls they drop to power up your next party member's attack or heals. which saved me during the hard times of fights. And finally, the thing that makes swapping good is that you can swap out party members mid-fight, and it won't cost you a turn to do so. That was so beneficial, especially when enemies have special attacks that your current party setup can't break. That ends the combat portion of my likes, but there's more gameplay aspects that I like. One of them involves being able to rewind time. Yep, you heard that right. Thanks to being a Solstice warrior, Zale can rewind or fast forward time to his liking. This final thing about the game blew my f***ing mind when I figured out what was happening. You may have noticed it or haven't been paying attention to it because it's such a small feature, but it's honestly worthwhile when you do notice it. Basically, both the starting and loading screens update to who's currently in your party or not. I thought that was so f***ing awesome that the game would have that included. It's such a small thing that you could miss if you're not fully paying attention to those specific screens. I honestly loved it, and that right there boosted my enjoyment of this game entirely. The only dislike about this game was not being able to swap out any characters that were unconscious. So, if they're about to go down and you don't have any healing to give them, make sure to promptly swap out instead of making a similar mistake to mine. And that's my review on Sea of Stars. If you love RPGs and want a good story about destiny and friendships, or even want a different turn-based experience, then look no further with Sea of Stars. You'll really enjoy it. As always, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And if you have any recommendations on what game I should review next, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.